to have that level of consciousness where you just have compassion, mercy, and grace for your human view of things, in this 3D world.
Welcome to the Golden Age Goddess Podcast. We stand for peace, love, happiness, and abundance for all. Listen to your heart and soul's call, and we will encourage you to be bold, audacious, and devoted. Kim, Indigo, and Wind, helping you win by healing deep within. Only way to the Golden Age. Like, share, and subscribe today.
So let's talk about really quick, what is Christ consciousness? Because that's, again, what the Golden Age is all about. I talked a little bit about the return of the divine feminine Christ, but what exactly is Christ consciousness? So we can elaborate more on that, and also know how does that differ from like Christianity? Because Christianity has the root word of Christ. They honor the Christ, they love the Christ, and that's beautiful. But there is a difference, a very distinct difference. This even goes beyond religion and beyond even, I would say, even before Christ got here. So let's go into that.
So the Christ consciousness, to me, is the levels that we go through of enlightenment to reach to a state of enlightenment. And it's really the connection to it's from the base of our spine all the way up to our crown, and the illumination of that crown. So when we actually illuminate our crown, that's why we see on all the pictures with the illumination in the back of Jesus or Yeshua or Mother Mary and all of the ascended masters, all of the beings that have reached a level of Christ consciousness. You always see that illumination in the back of them, because that is showing that they've reached a level of enlightenment.
Yes.
And that is the light within you, enlightenment. So we've reached that level, and they also correlate it to the 33 vertebrae in the spine and the Jacob's ladder, and going up those steps towards reaching full enlightenment. And when you're in enlightenment, you're in unity consciousness. You're seeing from a higher perspective. You're operating from a heart-based way of living, way of viewing things, way of thinking, way of, you see everyone as your brother and sister. Every being you see as a sentient being, even the innate objects that are around us, the plant, the trees, the wind. You connect with it all because you see that we are all connected to it. We are all one. And once you reach to that Christ consciousness, you're able to see that even more clearly.
Wow. On point. Perfect explanation. Thank you, Indigo.
I wanted to add a little bit to what Indigo said of the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is reawakening the Christ within. We are reawakening the Christ within you, and being able, like Indigo said, to have that level of consciousness where you just have compassion, mercy, and grace for your human view of things, in this 3D world, and having so much mercy for everything, every encounter, every person, everyone that you meet, having that mercy and loving that person, because that person is also within you with whatever they're going through, so sometimes we might see people that are abusers, or people that are homeless, or people that are out on the streets, or things like that, having that compassion and mercy, and being able to recognize that level of love that Christ has for us and has for everyone. So just wanted to add a little bit about that. It's recognizing that the Christ is within, and having that compassion and mercy for every single thing that we go through in this life.
So powerful. Yeah, the Christ, when we even look at the life of our beautiful Christ, Yeshua, Master Yeshua, who is a master teacher, he really embodied beyond forgiveness. Like even when he was going through his crucifixion and literally being outcasted, treated like crap. And a lot of us light workers can experience that. We have experienced that, feeling like we don't belong, feeling outcasted, feeling like, it's like the black sheep energy. But yet, Master Yeshua forgave them before anything even happened to him, before he was even crucified. He had nothing but love in his heart because he knew the truth. He knew that there is really even no such thing as death, and we all return to source. And he also knows these were broken souls, broken people who hurted him, who didn't understand. Because if they understood, they would never. If they also understood that he was also in them, like Kim said, that Master Christ energy is also within us. It is the enlightenment, is the direct connection to spirit. It is heart-based consciousness, fully being in our hearts no matter what. And again, I want to be clear. This does not mean that we have to accept abuse. This does not mean that we have to accept disrespect. That's not what I'm saying. But there is this level of unconditional love. That is the Christ consciousness. Unconditional. Unconditional loves, that means, you know what? I know why you're hurting me, because you're hurting.
Yeah.
And you know what? Nothing goes without consequence as well. There's consequences for action. There is a such thing as karma. So, Jesus, Master Yeshua didn't have to go, to war with any of these people because they're at war with themselves.
Yeah.
They're already at war with themselves. They're their own worst enemy. And that's what Master Yeshua understood. We can be our own best friend or our own worst enemy. And so when we're talking about this age of Christ consciousness, it's true unity. Again, there is no hierarchy. There's levels of vibration, which means levels of consciousness. But even the most conscious spiritual person, even Master Yeshua taught this. Master Yeshua didn't want us to even worship him as if he was a God above us. He wanted us to worship ourselves and recognize the Christ within. That's the true teachings of Christ. There is no hierarchy with the divine. So the beggar on the street, or the royal person in Dubai, or whatever, or I should even say, not even the royal person in Dubai, the truly pure-hearted spiritual person that is already in the golden age, they're one and the same.
Yes.
I can say that, but that Christ consciousness, you really know that within your cells, within your blood. And last thing I want to say is what, piggybacking off what Indigo said about the 33 vertebrae. So true. What came to me was the Kundalini rising. All of our chakras aligned. And so I work directly with the Kundalini. So I'm very, very passionate about the teachings of Kundalini and rising ourselves to higher consciousness from that lower state of being to that higher state of being, that higher state of consciousness. And that is what the Christ, and that's how we truly become illuminated, is to stop operating from our lower nature and to really tap into our higher nature, what truly matters on the inside. So this is powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Juicy. Look, we're going deep.
Welcome to the Golden Age Goddess Podcast. We stand for peace, love, happiness, and abundance for all. Listen to your heart and soul's call, and we will encourage you to be bold, audacious, and devoted. Kim, Indigo, and Wind, helping you win by healing deep within. Only way to the Golden Age. Like, share, and subscribe today.